everyone.
Electric Boogaloo. You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Over time, no light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. You burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. It's good to see you all. I am back. I have been gone for a total of 96 hours, and YouTube is about to burn down. Damn, I can't leave this place for nothing. Hope you all are well. Today is April 21st, 2023. It is 7:22 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States of America. It's good to see you all in chat. Thank you all for being with me. Uh I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So, a lot going on. I've missed you too, Kate. I did go live I went live at like 3 o'clock this morning. I got up and I was flipping through some things and I was like, shit, I'm going to go live and I got to talk about this before I go back to bed. So I talked about it for a little bit. And then the other night, I was at my hotel room and I was live sitting outside by the fireplace, and there's several of us outside and we hear a blood curdling scream, and this was very, very loud and very disturbing. So the staff was out there and they immediately called the police, and we was nosy and we were looking around trying to make sure everyone was okay. And it was a DV. After I ended my live, I went up to the floor I was on, and it was actually on my floor. It was at the very, very end of the hall, and the police took the man out, arrested him. I do have it on tape as well. Yeah, I even got it on tape. I even got it on tape. She was really mad that they were arresting him, but the police did the right thing. You know, in these situations, I always think about Gabby Petito, and she's like, I don't want you to arrest him. I'm okay and everything. And they were like, I don't care if you say you're okay. He's getting arrested. So, my heart goes out to anyone who is or has ever been in a DV situation. It is scary, quite frankly. I just don't understand why another person puts hands on someone else. If it gets to that point, walk away. Walk away. You know, it's not once it gets to the hands putting on you, it's not easy to walk away. But if you think it's going there, try to get out before. Obviously, that's not always the case. People have children together and lives and all of this, but hopefully you can, and hopefully she makes her way out of this, because I'll be honest with you, it got quiet after that. And I thought, oh my God, I hope he did not unalive her. That's really what I thought. It was really, really scary. Um, anyone else stream freezing? God, I hope not. Can everyone see me? Everyone hear me okay? Come on, YouTube. Yes. Yes, Reap. It was really bad. Uh Me too, Erica. And I think many times perfect. Okay, good. Good. All right. I think many times the people in DV situations have to almost say, don't arrest him, don't arrest him, because if they don't, they're going to get it again. And I just thought, This poor girl. This poor girl. So, anyway, there has been a lot going on in the past few days. And as you guys know, there was a vigil held for little Sebastian. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? I can't remember. My days are all mixed up right now, but there was. And Chris did show up. I guess Katie did too. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Chris definitely did show up. And Justin from TikTok, he said that kind of was a little bit heated in the beginning, but it worked its way out. Also, after that, Seth made a video message stating that him, Chris, and Katie are now, I don't want to say working together, but have a mutual understanding for finding Sebastian. And Seth said that he was going to put and Chris were going to put their differences aside. We're going to review that and we're going to talk about it. I plan on doing some polls this evening. I really want to hear what you think. You are absolutely allowed to have your opinion here, whether it is for Chris and Katie, for Seth, or anything in between. You are you are absolutely entitled and allowed to have your opinion. Um, you know, keep it as respectful as possible. We have a very classy chat, to say the very least, here, and I know you guys always do. Um, Nothing can speed up a divorce like an ex-husband. Let's just say that. Yeah, it's I mean, sometimes relationships, you know, they just ran their course and you just kind of go your separate ways. Sometimes you remain friends. Sometimes you have to uh try to be as cordial to one another, especially if you have children together. That's a biggie. And sometimes they don't end as well as you would like. Um, thank you, Tony. Justin on TikTok, YouTube channel did a great show a few ago on Seth and Peter. Yes, we're gonna cover Peter Hyatt here in just a little bit. I want to comment on that for sure. The neighbor man she was seeing allegedly was at her home last night. They were in the driveway talking. Really? That's interesting. Hey, Brittany, good to see you. All right. So, without further ado, let's get started. You got to pick. Let me pull up my phone number here. We are going to take calls in a little bit. I'm not taking calls right now, but we will take calls here in just a little bit. Do me a favor. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, I would greatly appreciate it. You can text me, if you have something right now, I can show it in the show. Um, for that as well. Darcy, thank you so much, my love. Thank you. Oh, you gifted one membership earlier. Thank you, Darcy. That's so sweet of you, my love. I really do appreciate your support. This is getting more bizarre, in my opinion. It's becoming more about Chris, Katie, and Seth than it is about finding Sebastian. Isn't that sad? It really is sad. And just about the separation of the YouTube dynamics between creators who think differently, or who feel about differently on their opinions on what happened. And again, it's just opinions, y'all. It's really just opinions. What has already happened to Sebastian has already happened. We don't know what happened to Sebastian, obviously, but we can have opinions, theories, but that is all that they are. And it's okay to have opinions and theories. This is America, as PG would say. This is America. So don't let, I would hope that it doesn't let, separate. I mean, it's okay to have differing opinions. What has happened to Sebastian, whatever it was, has already happened. We just have different opinions on what may have happened, and that's all it is. May is the key word, right? So, I totally agree. Love no matter what has happened or happened. Our mango was to find Sebastian and bringing him home. It absolutely is. Um, we have to remember they're innocent until proven guilty, in my opinion. I still believe. Absolutely. I mean, listen, I am, you know, I think Chris and Katie, in my opinion, absolutely no more, at the very least. But I can't, I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury, I am not a court of law, and neither are any of us here. These are just opinions, right? An opinion does not change a fact. And we don't have many of those in this case. We don't have many of those. The only thing that we have is A, what law enforcement has said, and B, what the parents and the step parents have said. That's what we have. And we can form an opinion on the things that we know, which is the words and the behaviors that Chris, Katie, and Seth have done. That's all we can do at this point. And it's okay, whatever your opinion is, it's okay. Dr. Phil needs to have all three on. Oh God, evil. I'll be honest with you. I kind of lost faith in Dr. Phil a long time ago, to be honest with you. I just lost faith in him when it came to when the Summer Wells case, to be honest with you. And the reason is I think he switched up what he would have normally said, in my opinion, just to keep Don and Candace on the stage for a little bit because they like to never got him on there to begin with. September, thank you so much, my dear. I do appreciate your support, keeping my little channel going. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Um, but I do believe, doesn't Dr. Phil have a network now? Like, isn't he a whole network like Oprah? I don't take what the parents say as fact because we don't know what the motives behind what they are. Absolutely. Yeah. I believe he's got a network now, and I do believe Nancy Grace is actually going to be on that network. Could be wrong. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be on Dr. Phil's network pretty soon. Um yeah, that's it, Dusty. Yes, he just got his own network in Dallas too. Who went to jail, Justin? Oh, that was a DV situation the other night at my some blood curdling scream was going on, and yeah, just rewind a little bit and you can hear that. I did watch Jerry Springer when I was in high school. That everyone watched Jerry Springer. I was a big Ricky Lake and Sally Jesse Raphael person myself. Um, your sweet K, thank you. Um, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But anything would be, is it? I mean, I'll do a poll here in a minute. Is oh, Jenny Jones. Love Jenny Jones too. Yes. Love Jenny Jones too. I miss the 90s, man. The 90s were such good times. They were such good times. I really miss my windbreakers. I had this green Nike windbreaker, and it was like forest green, and the out piping of it was orange, and I had my Adidas shoes, and they were like black and white and orange, and I thought I was, oh my god, I thought I was it, bitch. I was like, girl, mm-hmm. Back in the day, these weren't I mean, windbreakers and parachute pants, they're different, right? I'm pretty sure they are. But the 90s were great. 90s were great. Yeah, I miss being skinny and young too. But my ass has only grown, so I can't really say a thing about the butt, Lolo. My ass has only grown bigger. So. Okay, moving forward. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit what Justin on TikTok, although he's also on YouTube, very nice guy. He was talking to um, Seth, and this is kind of the video that he put out. If you have not seen this entire live, I recommend you going and seeing it. The link is in the description. Of course, we're using this under the Fair Use Act, and we're going to transform it as well. So, whoa, wrong one, wrong one. Sorry, I'm trying to put my filter over it. So bear with me. There we go. And cue the music. And it might sound a little brown chicken, brown cow. I apologize. But it is. Make sure. Let me know if it's too loud. Let me see here. Let me find it here. All right. Here we go. Credit goes to Justin on TikTok, but he also has a channel here on YouTube. And again, the link is in the description for the full.
Give it a listen.
Me and Chris are putting our differences aside. It's not about our egos. It's about finding Sebastian. Me, Chris, and Katie will begin working together.
Okay, So the first thing is that I want to discuss is he says Chris and I are putting our differences aside. So that would indicate that they still have differences, obviously. They're just putting them aside. That's my opinion. You're allowed to feel how you feel, and you're allowed to see it how you want to see it. Again, it's not, our opinions are not going to change what has happened to Sebastian.
And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside,
Now, I agree with Seth on this that there are a lot of big egos around here. People thinking that their way is the only way, and that should, in my opinion, never be the case. Um, People are allowed to have their own opinions and feel how they feel, and shouldn't get attacked for it in any way, shape, or form as long as they're. Sorry, I got my window open. One sec. My neighbor, man. Um, shouldn't be attacked in any way for how they believe or what. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't think the way Seth worded this was the best way of him saying it, in my opinion. However, um, I do think that perhaps, he could have maybe worded it a little bit better. So, and I think it may have hurt, some people for just because they have been like lockstep with Seth from the beginning. And, people have donated their time, they've donated their money, they've donated, their energy, everything. So I do think, trying to be objective here, for the people that it did uh maybe rub the wrong way, but I also understand that he has one kid, y'all. He has child one child, and that child is missing. The child is missing, and he's been really under it, just struggling, as all of us would as parents. So I think at times, you know, people, you just can only take what you can take, and you get tired of being sick and tired, and being tired of another day, another minute of not finding your son. So there's that. Bushi, thank you so much, my love. Has Seth realized you can catch more flies with honey? Perhaps. Perhaps, Boo. Now, I will say, okay, what is it, Jesse? You keep, I don't understand what you're saying. It's hoaxed, question mark. I don't understand what you mean there. Chai, thank you so much, my dear. Good to see you. People look for a reason to slam Seth. He's frustrated, exhausted, and can't catch a break. You are absolutely right. Seth was referring to the fake kidnappers, trolls, etc. Yeah, I do believe he says this. I don't know if he says it in this interview or another interview, but he says, that's not for obviously the people who are, what he says, on Sebastian's team. And the ones who have donated flyers and everything. So, yeah. Hey, Nana, good to see you. Good to see you, my dear. Dad is playing Chummy, Chummy to be closer so he can check everything closer. And yes, the dad is being just human and thinking about his son first. I agree, but I will tell you something, guys, and I'm just going to be honest about this. I don't think, I mean, it's good, that they're trying to work together in the common interest of Sebastian, which is what they should have done all along, right? As best as possible. But I do think, um, you know, it gets exhausting. But at this point, I think that Seth and Katie aren't going to give, sorry, Chris and Katie aren't going to give Seth anything. I just don't think they're going to give him anything. Now, they might give him something without them even realizing it, but I'm not sure if can there be any trust there between the three after everything that has happened back and forth towards each other. I'm asking you, what do you think? Hey, Lisa and Justin, he was on another channel and explained this. I personally believe he is between a rock and a hard place. I agree with that, Lisa. I think people took it wrong. Yeah. Thank you, Candy. Sometimes you need to get in bed with the devil. Perhaps. Perhaps. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Jessica, hey love, good to see you. Good to see you. Missed you the last couple of days. I agree. Seth is tired and can't catch a break. We should give him some grace. Yeah, yes, absolutely. And I mean, I might even thank you so much, Darcy, for gifting one membership. My dear, if you received that membership, please thank our sweet Darcy um for gifting that membership. You are now a pearl. Nope, they want to control him and shut him down from talking. Uh, in AC or mean, not Nasir. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it like your name? Sorry, sidetracked. But perhaps it could be something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Or it could be Chris and Katie are trying to maybe perhaps get on board, after nearly how many weeks are we at now? 7 weeks or so. Are they trying to get on board now and kind of maybe fix their image a little bit? Is that part of it? Or um, is it Seth doing that? We don't know someone's motivations, right? We just don't know someone's motivations. Canadian Cookie, thank you so much for gifting one membership, my dear. I do appreciate you, my love. If you receive that membership, please thank our sweet, sweet Canadian Cookie. Thank you again. Thomas, everything Katie and Chris are doing now is adapting and damage control, in my opinion. And Thomas, I would agree mostly with that. I do think um people who are suspect, as we know, that they adapt and their questions, or rather, sorry, not the questions, their answers adapt as we bring questions up that's not making sense. So many times suspects will adapt their questioning, just like Chris McDonough said from the interview room whenever Don Wells was first being interviewed, he would say this, and then his story would change, and Chris would say, "Look, his story's going to change next time, I bet." And damn if it didn't, every time, because they have to adapt. They have to, otherwise it just does not look good. Is this the same person that was hosting this channel yesterday? I don't know. Who knows, JG? Perhaps. I don't know. I was hosting it at 3 o'clock this morning. Um, you know, had sleep in my eye. My hair was up to here. Didn't have a shirt on, nothing. So I know. Trust me, when I get out of the studio lights and I don't got all this on, right? Let's just be honest, right? It's kind of fucking scary when out of it, so you get what you get. The Lord giveth what he gives you, and you got to work with what you got, okay? So, all right, let's go on.
Help us find our son. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is the goal of this shit. If you can't get on that, get the fuck off.
All right. So you heard it. He's not telling people to F off. He's saying that if you can't get on the page of Finding Sebastian, F off. And let me kind of give you guys a little bit of context on this. Okay. So let me give you a little bit of context on this. Basically, he is coming off of, well, there's a lot to unpack here. Let me start with this, though. He's coming off of a lot of creators on this app, on Facebook, and other apps who have been just dogging him for the past week and a half. And he's aware of it. He doesn't necessarily get his feelings hurt by public opinion.
Chichi, that's a one way to look at it. That's perhaps one way to look at it. That lady scared the pee out of Justin, laughing with you, Justin, not at you. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. I'm not saying anything bad. I wasn't sure. I know. Listen, I do self-deprecating humor, so it works for me. You're fine, JG. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, it was. I was just, I was just being silly, really. All right, let's finish this right here.
And, this has been a huge battle for him. You got to think where he's been. And this is me looking at it from putting a bias aside, okay? Because I've made it very clear on these posts when I've done videos that I'm not a fan of the Proudfoots. That's no secret.
And it's not a secret. I'm not a fan of, the Proudfoots either. I do believe, in my personal opinion, that they know more, at the very least. I don't believe a 15-year-old autistic child walks out in 26 degrees with no shoes, no coat, slips by every camera, slips by, doesn't leave any footprints, any shoe prints, doesn't leave a scent at all. I don't believe it. And until investigators says, yeah, he got out on his own, we found something of his that he did this 100% by himself, which again, I would still have questions. How do you do it barefooted at 26 degrees? I mean, at 26 degrees, that's going to be very uncomfortable. Your feet are going to be frostbitten very quickly. He is going to run straight back into the house. He knew the code for the front door. He's going to run right back in. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Thank you, G. You are so authentic and fair. I'm a new sub and love your channel. Thank you so much, G. Thank you so much, my dear. That's very kind of you. You're always welcome here, and we appreciate you, every single one of you. All right. Moving on here. I can assure everyone Seth is on one mission and only one, finding his son Sebastian. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think now listen, I know a lot of people have talked about these lie detector tests. Supposedly Katie passed hers, Chris passed his, and Seth was undetermined. It's not a fail, it's not a pass. It means the polygrapher cannot decide either way. Now, again, when either one of them, guys, I'm not and personally, I feel like the Proudfoots know more, but again, either way, I don't put much stock into any of it. To me, it's pseudoscience. It's not going to be held up in court, and there is very much ways you can get around a lie detector test if you have time to know how to pass one. Again, I personally don't think Seth, I know that he was at work with 20 million cameras around him. He works at a freaking prison, right? How many cameras do you got there? So, where was that? And merge. And that's the thing. And that's the thing, you know, and that's absolutely law enforcement hasn't even confirmed Chris or Katie took a polygraph, and they're not going to tell us. They are not going to tell us, most likely. They don't have to, and they're not. Damn sure TBI won't. They will not tell. Now, maybe Hendersonville, maybe the local law enforcement, Sumner County, will tell us. Maybe they will. But if you're waiting on TBI, you're going to be waiting a long ass time, because they're not going to say. They're just not. That's the way TBI works. But because someone said that Katie took a polygraph doesn't mean she actually took a polygraph. And because someone said Chris took a polygraph doesn't mean he took a polygraph. It also doesn't mean that he passed the polygraph, because he was, in my opinion, skirting around the polygraph to begin with. Oh, police said I didn't need to take one. I wasn't even there. But yet, he did throw a fit when Katie took the polygraph. That is absolutely threw a fit. Then he goes on the Nancy Grace show. Yeah, I'll take one. You didn't take one. Then you say, oh, well, TBI said not to take one from you. They'll give me one. Well, you just said TBI said there was no need to give you one. They're not going to give you one if there's no need, per se. That's why Seth had his done with Nancy Grace, because there was no need for Seth to take one through TBI. And Florida Alcom's razor. And listen, and you are absolutely right. A lot of people in true crime, they'll make up this great big elaborate scenario, you know, Sebastian is in Alaska. They took him, drove him across the country. Now, listen, it's children have been unalived and driven across the country before. I get that. But then getting on a plane and then taking him to Alaska, that is a lot. They'll make up this big, big thing. And usually in when something happens like this, time is of the essence to hide someone, right? So it's usually the most, even though some of, it can be complicated, it's usually the most simple, basic of answers that happened. Thank you, Darcy. Until law enforcement says people passed a polygraph, I don't believe it. That's fair. That's fair. Now, again, you know, to be a little bit balanced on here, I do think that Seth has said that he was falling asleep during his polygraph. He was taking very heavy medications at the time. Right. He was taking very heavy medications for his shoulder, his neck, or something. And just the general stress of it all. There's something. Was the confrontation at the vigil filmed? I haven't seen any. Evo Alaska, I don't know that there was a confrontation. I want to be clear about that. I'm just saying that is what I believe it was Justin from TikTok said that there I don't think it's a confrontation per se. That was a little heated, if you will. Peter Hyatt said this morning Katie was alone with Sebastian. Katie isn't telling everything that happened. She knows why he's gone. Jackie Brown, in her opinion, says. Let's see here. Any kind of muscle relaxers puts me to sleep. Well, yeah, I mean, a muscle relaxer, it relaxes muscles and nerve endings, right? So it is one of those things that it's going to affect your results. I mean, how could it not? If you've got any type of blood pressure, if you've got if you're on any antidepressants, anything like that. Drew K, thank you so much, my dear. Good to see you. Justin, thank you for all you do. Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you for your support, Drew. I really do appreciate it. Means a lot, my dear. Let's be fair. If Chris's polygraph came back inconclusive, how would people react? Trust me, I'm not pro Proudfoot. I'm trying to see things to listen, Alafide. I absolutely agree with you on that. And that's why, in my opinion, I don't give a wooden nickel how either one of them come back, because either way, it's not going to change my opinion personally. And because, listen, if Chris's sorry, Chris, if his thing came back failed, right? People's gonna be like, aha, 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 got him, got him, got him. Or if it came back, uh, you know, that he passed, right? Well, this and this and this, right? And it's going to be the same way. People, we have to be able to be willing to listen to the other side and letting them have their opinion, but they also willing to have ours, right? And so many people in today's world were like, we're just talking past each other. We're not actually excited about perhaps learning um, something. It doesn't mean you're going to change your opinion, but you have to be open to hearing somebody, right? So, hey, Miranda, good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. He wasn't on any muscle relaxers. I do believe he was on muscle relaxers, and for a moment he was. And is it Neurotin? I think they said Neurotin. It's like the nerve. Um, and then something else. I can't remember what else. But again, that is what a qualified doctor that you and I are not, most of us, put him on, and they obviously thought he needed it.
Okay. No fan, not a fan of them. I've seen Seth out there searching every single day, and to me, actions speak very loudly. A lot of people in the comments are saying, I can't believe after.
Okay, so I'm gonna James Vaughn says Proudfoot's passed. Okay, James. How do you know that? I'm not trying to single you out or anything, but I just want to know how you know that. How do you know that? Because none of us really know. We know that, Seth has said that it was inconclusive. We know that Katie said she passed. We know Seth said he passed before he actually even took one, but Seth says he passed again after he allegedly took one again. So I don't know that anybody has passed. Let me find the clip. So, James, is it going to be Seth saying that he passed? Is it going to be Katie saying that she passed? Is it going to be Chris saying that he passed? Sorry, I said Seth a minute ago. I meant Chris. I apologize. Because just because Chris, Katie, or Seth says that they passed or failed, that just means they've said it. Right? I can say I'm a kangaroo, right? Doesn't make me a kangaroo, right? Chris said he passed lie detector test. Did y'all pass the lie detector test? Did y'all take a lie detector test rather? Passed. Then he went again. I didn't say who passed. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily mean perhaps anything at the end of the day, right? It just means that they've said that they either, I mean, if you believe them and you believe in lie detector test, great. Happy. that would mean it's your opinion that Chris, Katie, or Seth is telling you the truth and you believe them. But that doesn't stand as a fact because the polygrapher has not came out and said Chris and or Katie and or Seth has passed. By the way, this is a side note, but I was down all yesterday. Do you guys know she was on American Idol? I just want to say this real quick. She was one of the most beautiful singers. Her name was Mandisa. She sung a lot of Christian music. Love Mandisa. She died. I was freaking so depressed yesterday. Oh my God. Mandisa, like, I hate that. Like, I have listened to Mandisa since she was started, you know. So, rest in peace, Mandisa. Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. Itching right here. Okay, beautiful voice. 47 years. Yeah, yeah. All right. Moving forward, she's saying her biggest hit was a song called Overcomer, and it's about, in the video it's about, she's got like Robin Roberts, Scott Hamilton, Gabrielle. She was like a senator that got pew-pewed from a mass, you know what. You know, just them overcoming their obstacles. She was 47 years young. And she was just, her smile was infectious. She just really had a beautiful spirit. I was just, yesterday I was so sad about it.
It was pretty good. Wonderful person up there.
All right, so this goes out. This is from the Pascal show. Link is in the description. And this is the call from Seth to Pascal, talking a little bit about what happened. While this is playing, I'm going to comment on it, but I'm also going to drop, maybe in just a couple minutes, I'm going to drop a poll.
And prayer, and then we had a great person on the guitar.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm glad that there was a good turnout. There was a lot of positivity, a lot of people giving you prayers and hugs and just giving a lot of positive energy to Sebastian Rogers. And that is the main goal, right? Is finding Sebastian. So
that is the goal.
That is the goal, my brother. So can we talk about this? Because I know that there's been a lot of people that have been very, very shocked about this update, right? Now, is it true that there was an exchange of heated words between you and Chris Proudfoot when he showed up? Is that true?
No, he just came up and spoke. He had actually showed up earlier before everybody.
Okay, so here, let's correct that. Here, Seth is saying that there were no heated words between him and Chris in the beginning.
Showed up for the vigil. He showed up. He swung by. I had one of my truck pops, putting some windshield wiper fluid in there, and he swung by to see if I was having vehicle problems.
Mm-hmm. So he came over
And
to,
then he came by.
yeah.
Yeah, then he came by afterwards, right before the vigil started, to have a conversation with me.
Right.
And, just wanted to put stuff aside and work together to find Sebastian. And I told him that's all I want is to find Sebastian.
So he's the one who said, hey, we should align up, we should join forces and try to find Sebastian, correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
Correct.
Okay. Bet. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. That's great news. That is great news.
That's fine with me. Let's do it.
I see. I see. So then, okay. So then let's talk about this video, okay? Because it's blew up. It is blown up the internet overnight. Okay, I woke up this morning to DMs, etc. with this, reacting to this video. Can you explain to me what's up? What happened? What was going on with this video?
Well, first of all, I don't have social media.
Right.
And so, about the only thing I hear is what other people will be telling me.
Mm-hmm.
And besides all the spam stuff that's been coming in with people saying that they have my sons, which that takes a real particular disgusting piece of garbage to do that.
Right.
Okay, so I just dropped a poll and answer it. I don't know who's answering it. It doesn't show me. I just see the results. So answer it in your honest, truthful opinion. I saw the video. It was out there. Yeah, I haven't seen anything from anyone official saying that anyone is passed. The only person that we absolutely know has taken a lie detector test truthfully, I'm not saying truthfully, I'm saying truthfully as in the persons that took the lie detector test, is Seth, and it's not from TBI, it's from Nancy Grace. So yeah, Primrose, she died. Yeah, she died. It's really sad. I really love Mandisa. Hey Don, good to see you, buddy.
Just kind of gets on my nerves that people think it's a joke. Sit there and say that they have my kid.
Okay. Yeah, the fake kidnapper and all the hoax, all the fake.
So, one second. So I think here, what he's saying is that he, may have been upset when he was saying that yesterday. And listen, I think anybody would understand. And I'm sure even Katie and Chris was upset about someone saying that they have Sebastian, and they'll give him up for a certain amount of money. That's beyond gross. It's gross. And somebody who, oh guys, I apologize. If you're on Justin for All, the poll was not up. That is only for Clutch Them Pearls. So if you want to do the poll, come on over to Clutch Them Pearls. Mods, drop it in the chat. Clutch Them Pearls is my main channel until May 28th-ish. Maybe law enforcement has a new lead that will draw all the parents together. Who knows? Who knows? Um, yeah. Okay.
Fake scamming that's been going on revolving around your son. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's just despicable,
I
So
see.
where are you
in
from?
my opinion.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. And I get why you would say something like that, because it wasn't directed towards the
Now,
people who
first
are
and
out here
foremost,
supporting. Go ahead.
I appreciate everybody that is supporting me.
Mhm.
Anybody who has donated to the Cash App, to the GoFundMe, their time, their effort to go out and pass out flyers in whatever town they're in, whatever state they're in, people that have traveled from other states to here to help pass out flyers. 100%. I appreciate you all 100%.
Yes, and and I know that he appreciates that, and I'm glad personally that he cleared that up, because a lot of us have passed out flyers. Um, a lot of us have searched. A lot of y'all have searched, donated, all of that, and you know, so I know that he appreciates that.
All right. But these people that just don't understand that I want to find my son, and why people are sitting there trying to go, oh, we're Team Seth. Oh, we're Team Chris and Katie. Did you hear Sebastian and Team Seth or Team Chris and Katie?
Right.
There is no. There's no Sebastian in Team Seth or Team Chris and Katie.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. We have a 15-year-old child that's missing.
Yeah.
My
Absolutely.
son is missing. Katie's son is missing.
Absolutely. Now,
All right.
but there has been a lot of groundwork over the past 50 some odd days that has been splitting the room for a little while. So what do you say about that? Because yes, you guys are joining forces, but a little bit ago, it was a different tune. You see what I'm saying? So I can understand where people are feeling a little bit like, whoa, what happened here? You see what I'm saying? So what do you have to say about that?
Some people may be feeling whoa, like whoa.
Right.
There's a song, but I'm not there. I can't remember the song, but I know there's a song. My hip hop days are coming back.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, yeah, I got you.
It's like, whoa, yeah,
Yep.
there it is. Like he who has never sinned, throw the first rock.
Okay.
Well, I know
He's saying he without sin cast the first stone. Well, I understand that. I understand that, and none of us would be throwing stones, right? But there's things that has went down that's really questionable, right? It's really questionable. A lot of people say, Chris and Katie, they're doing what they should be doing. I disagree with that personally. I think there's no stronger advocate for your children, for your child, than you. None. Right? There's no stronger advocate for your child than you. And it feels like Chris and Katie, specifically, in my opinion, that they're not out there advocating. And I feel how I feel. Now, it is what it is. Mystic, I have not been in my emails in a few days, my dear. So I'm gonna get to all of that tonight. I want to get to all that. So nobody is saying Chris and Katie need to be on every YouTuber's channel. In fact, it's probably best that they don't. But people say, well, they would be attacked if they go to the vigils. No, they wouldn't. I don't believe that they would. Actually, I think they may be understood a lot more if you walk up to that person, those people, and maybe they get to know you. Maybe they see that they're struggling. I don't know, but I think, in my opinion, what they're doing now, which is absolutely nothing that I see. They did some interviews. They did. But again, in my opinion, the interviews did not make much sense. The cops already know who they are targeting. They just won't say they want the target ones to keep talking. Thank you so much. I appreciate you kind to remember. I have a close family. Everyone would skip work and be out searching with me. Yeah. It has turned into a show, right? And that's really sad. It's really sad. I mean, feel how you feel, but let others feel how they feel, right? Otherwise, we're just talking past one another. We're just really talking past one another. Let them feel how they feel.
I'm a sinner. I'm here. I have sinned.
I will say though
Chris
too.
was big enough man to come and ask me. I'm big enough man to sit there and say, if you're gonna help, come help.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
How many challenges will God give me before He gives me my son?
Hopefully not many, but you also got to remember that He's here. I mean, God is present. He is there for you.
Yes.
And maybe,
but He's also watching to see how I react. He's
True.
watching to see He's watching to see if I'm going to handle the troubles that He's given me.
I see what you're saying. Listen, I understand.
Sorry, it wasn't pausing there. Scarlett says, in trauma, everyone needs something different. It's a weird situation. Yes, but trauma needs to be accounted for. No one knows what they would do. Truth is, trauma response is a reaction. It is a reaction. And people do respond differently. But I've never seen a parent just not do anything. You know what I mean? I mean, that's my opinion. Um, I don't understand how at least one of the two, Chris or Katie, isn't doing something. I just don't. I just don't. You know, again, most of us, I think, would be screaming from the rooftops because that's yours. That's your child, right? Nobody knows your child better than you do. Right? I don't think he meant anything. I don't think he meant anything against us personally. But I think again, I think he could have ordered it better. I think it didn't come out very gracious. Um, does it change my opinion? No, it doesn't change my opinion, but I do think he could have made it a little more gracious and more clear. But also, I think that, you know, there's been a lot of crap, right? A lot of crap. He is just upset with all the extra, like the Flyers took down. Absolutely. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I mean, and this goes for the Proudfoots as well. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, probably a lot of us would have done cussed some people out, right? You know what I mean? Just the stuff that has taken place, we would have cussed some people out from the silliness, the craziness. Some sick, twisted, demented human being said that they had Seth and Katie's son and would give him back for what, 12 or $100 or something like that. I can't even remember what it was. You've got to be a real demented, sick individual to do something like that. All right, what did Justice Jane say? Let me go find it. Justice Jane. In my opinion, Seth's Cash App and GoFundMe should go to Sebastian's reward fund. There is only 3.5K in his reward fund now. I understand. I understand. I think his reward fund should be more. I absolutely think his reward fund should be more. But I mean, it's just tough. It's really tough. I don't know. He's not working. He's, and to me, as long as as he's out working, finding his son, doing the work, I don't have a problem with it. And that goes for the Proudfoots too. If they're out doing the work, someone wants to help them, go for it. Who am I to say what, someone you give money to because it's on your heart to do? Who am I? Um, so there's that. I think I personally like Seth because I would be doing what he is doing and saying what he is saying. HGC says, in my opinion, law enforcement has not pushed for a reward fund for a reason. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Now, there is some interesting things to this because, law enforcement has not said, if you have seen Sebastian in this area between the hours of, for example, total example, 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. on such and such date, if you have seen this car in the areas of whatever between such and such date, so they're not even giving us that. That could be two different ways we could look at that. That could mean they have absolutely nothing, or it could mean they know what they're looking for. Miss Curvy, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're feeling better. In my opinion, some of the individuals that have been supportive of Seth are the ones upset over what he said. We aren't his friends. We aren't his family. He owes us nothing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, um, this is, in true crime, you 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 don't necessarily need, right, a thank you. You're doing this because it's what is on your heart. It's the right thing to do. Um, and if you're wanting, I don't know. Elisa says, frankly, I'm not judging. Frankly, I am more worried about Seth now after seeing his statement. It's not his norm. Why? Um, well, I'll be honest with you, and this is my opinion. I absolutely don't think the, I'm going to just say I'm going to use this word in very, very loosely. It doesn't mean they're BFFs or anything of that nature, but I'm just going to say alliance between Seth, Chris, and Katie. I don't think it will last very long, especially if Seth keeps doing interviews on YouTube. I don't think it'll last long if that continues. And that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but I think it'll go right back to where it was if he continues to do YouTube interviews. So, Green Eyes. All right. I would be out there every night watching who walks through the neighborhood at night from 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah, I just don't think, I think, it's bound to make someone, either Chris or Katie, unhappy because they want this alliance loosely. I'm saying this loosely. that they're in this united front. And I don't think that will work very long. Who cares? Where is Sebastian? Well, that's a great question. And I think if you or I knew, we would be calling law enforcement. Now, people's like, well, why do you look at the Proudfoots funny? Well, because I don't know what happened. And in my opinion, their story does not add up. My opinion. Right? Chris could have made the exact same statement word for word, and everyone would be in an uproar. In my opinion, I'm Team Sebastian. Absolutely, Robin. There was one of those mobile cameras setups in the neighborhood in the weeks after Sebastian went missing. Many times, law enforcement will set up cameras where you can see or you can't see because they are watching the area for something in particular. They will do this for drug houses. Even they're not going to sit outside in a car and sit there and watch you. They're going to put a camera up, and that's how they will do that. We're going to play that, Debbie, here in just a minute. Scoping the scene. Yeah. If this is a normal story per se, and the mother who installs security system and cameras had a camera in her home, and Sebastian walked out on his own, and we knew he walked out on his own, or the videos picked the camera, the camera picked up Sebastian walking out, I don't think we would be here asking this the way we're asking. But I think, how does he get by the cameras? Why did he not wear his shoes? And in my opinion, why he didn't wear the shoes was because something happened before he was going to bed. Maybe right before bath time, right before he took his medicine, he wouldn't have had his shoes on. Most of us don't walk around in our home with our regular everyday shoes. You might walk around in slippers, house shoes, socks, barefoot even. And I think something could have happened, and that is why there is no shoes. But I don't think anybody is going to walk out in 26-degree weather without shoes. And then on top of that, not be seen by cameras. And you can say, well, we don't know he wasn't seen by any cameras. Okay. Well, there's no scent of him. There's no real scent of him that we are absolutely aware of. I have not heard anything anyone say anything about the dash cam Katie mentions in the Nancy Grace interview? Kat, thank you so much for that. The dash cam. I don't know what you're referring to, Kat. Dash cam. I've never heard dash cam, Kat. Am I missing something, y'all? Katie moved. Thank you for that, Kat. Trying to see if anybody else heard anything about that. Katie moved him in her vehicle in the morning when she claims she was searching for him, in their opinion. Not heard of a dash cam. Stated she had. She said she stated she had a dash cam. Shoes are all at the front door, but they came through the garage last. So, that's interesting, Insta. Yeah, I mean he could have walked through the house and put his shoes at the front door, but that doesn't seem, in my opinion, like a natural thing to do. So, 1 second here. Someone who sent me a weather report, that is not correct. That says 76 is the high and 55 is the low. That is incorrect. It says Shackle something, Texas. So there is that. Okay. All right, let's do this a little bit and then we're going to go to the next
And where
thing.
you're coming
He's
from.
done what he's done.
Right.
She has done what she has done. I have done what I have done.
Nobody's perfect. You're right. You're right. And you got to
We're
move.
not perfect.
Right.
At the same point in time, you know, we're going to hold another vigil in 2 weeks.
Are they going to be there?
Right now, I'm working.
That's the thing. I think the
Right
problem
now-
is, Seth, can I just say something
and
really
it's
quick?
hopefully going to be a. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think what the general consensus is how they have been moving around here lately. It's their actions that are speaking way louder than their words. And let's not forget the words that have been said, that have been back and forth, that have been, they've been caught in not telling the full truths. There's been contradictions, so on and so forth. But most importantly, it's been the actions of their actions speaking way louder than their words. So I can see why.
And I know the weather. I've pulled up the weather.
People are
Hendersonville.
And I
feeling
understand that 100%.
feeling a little bit some type of way about this. Okay.
I understand, man.
You know,
Actions speak louder than words, Pascal.
absolutely. They most
But
definitely
everybody
do.
deserves a chance.
Everyone does deserve a chance. And again, this could very well, I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it really real. Like I said it right before you called, that this could well be the miracle that you've been maybe looking for and hoping for. Maybe this alliance will get us closer to finding Sebastian for sure. That's without a.
Yeah, I mean, Mississippi is not an it's not an extradition state, but however, the FBI, the Secret Service, it is federal, and federal law trumps state, right? So there's that. There's that. Okay. Now, the Peter Hyatt interview with Seth. Peter Hyatt is, in my opinion, Peter Hyatt, Deception Detective, and Pat. Is it Pat Brown? I think her name's Pat Brown. They're three of my favorites. Why plan a vigil in 2 weeks? In my opinion, planning that won't find him. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just something that they feel like is something that helps them. Yeah, I love Pat Brown too. She's awesome. She's very authentic, and I think Peter and Deception Detective is as well. They're not afraid to say what they think, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Jan. Thank you so much for becoming a member, my dear. Welcome to the family. You are now a Pearl. Welcome to the club. If Chris is involved, they will never find him, in my opinion. I hope they do. I really hope they do. Really, really hope they do. All right. Peter, he's not afraid to just say it.
Come on and just talk about a singular theme of what I believe to be the key to finding missing 15-year-old.
Does anyone know if Chris is working now? I mean, he did go to the vigil at some point. We do know that because he did talk to Seth. But also this right here. Right. That was the gas pump in Pigeon Forge, by the way. I was pumping gas and I was really happy to see that, because I was going to take flyers in and I saw this on the gas pump as well. So, but you know, what are they doing there? Like, Chris is not working. Correct wording is Chris appeared at the school before the vigil, since he left before it started. Okay. So Chris could want a GoFundMe too. Why did law enforcement search the landfill from the start? They didn't do that in Summer's case. They don't just search like that without cause. Evo Alaska, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I mean, I think it's, law enforcement has not stated that this is criminal, but there obviously would have to be some sort of crime for them to be searching in a landfill, not even a landfill in Tennessee, a landfill in a different state north of them, Kentucky, right? And it's not like Sebastian would just go to Kentucky and walk into a landfill. So there has to be some criminal element at the very least that they are suspecting. That, and also if you request a FOIA, they say they cannot release it due to a pending criminal investigation.
Sebastian Rogers, hopefully alive, but as the time has gone on, it was, I think, February 26th. We're reaching 2 months. It becomes much more difficult for anyone to hold on to hope that way. While I was getting set for this, Seth reached out and I invited him to come on. So he's here, and I'd like to just to address this one particular issue that I think is.
Don't you have to be working to get a loan for a motorcycle, or does Chris plan on paying cash for one? I don't know, Dana. You have to have good credit, right? Or someone to sign for you. And I'm sure you would have to have some source of income. But, it's alleged that mommy does a lot of the help.
Is very important. What prompted me to,
I mean, I don't know how much he makes being a crane operator. I'm sure he does pretty well, right? I'm sure he does pretty well, but does he do well enough to pay for his house, utilities, car payments, campers, and all of that? I don't know. Some people barely get by. They can have some nice things, but they're barely getting by. They are living, above their means, wearing missing.
to want to do this, and I'm pleased to have Seth, and I recognize that this is a nightmare, that the only way to survive it is perhaps some form of denial as time goes on for him. But it was a recent video that someone sent me of Sebastian's mother, that and some of the reactions within social media that were, I think, concerning. I'm not sure how distracting they really are, but there's a lot of information that is listed as breaking and bombshell, and life continues to go on, days continue to pass, and Sebastian is not found or recovered. In a recap for the case, and I won't make you wait as I hand the key, which is still another mystery itself, but a recap is 15-year-old boy with autism was reported missing. I've interviewed a lot of kids over the years through Child Protective Services that had autism. It seemed to me, experientially, that no two were alike.
Just a girl. Thank you so much, my love, for becoming a member. Appreciate you so much for your support. You are now a pearl, my dear. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. You don't get rich being in the service. That's true. That's true. Amanda, okay, sorry. Can you please check our group text? Yes.
And I had to adjust in the moment to be able to reach them, and there's some similarities, muted emotions or ill-regulated emotions. And parents know how difficult that is, and have better insight than me going from interview to interview and then moving on. When he went missing, I think the first thing that everyone kind of recognized is there's a step parent involved, and when there's a high needs child, the risk is it's a risk factor. It's something that is taken into consideration because it is really difficult, and parents will tell you how difficult that is, and they need family support. And they
Hey,
need,
I see you. I see you. What does that mean? I don't get the text. I need you to message me back. That's interesting. I'll tell you guys here in a second if I figure it out.
as much help from a community as they can get. I mean, it's really difficult, and they make mistakes, they lose tempers, they struggle, and to say otherwise just isn't reality. And so there's a risk factor. Oh no, number one is a high needs child, autism, has gone missing. They're going to have behaviors. Some of them are runaways, some of them are not. Some of them will bury themselves under blankets, in dark corners. They'll hide. You know, it's all very different, but it's a tragedy that we might see on the television, for example, but not live. So it's right off the bat. And then we had the presence, you know, according to what we saw in the news, the presence of a stepfather. But the first thing, and that's a risk factor, but the first thing that comes up in this was silence. That an investigator will ask, well, who was the last person to see Sebastian alive? Under whose watch did a child go missing? That's just the 101, the beginning where things begin. And so the public responded, I think, from at least what I read, they were angry. Why are these people being silent? And it goes against especially a mother's instinct. The father is protect. The mother is nurture. These things come from creation. These are God-given. And for a mother to be silent, there's one of two reasons.
Listen to this right here.
Generally, there can be others, but either police have revealed to the mother, there's no point in you calling out for your son. We have evidence of his death. The blood. We have this, that. So she begins to go into the wrestle of denial and grieving and then not believing, and it's a lot of emotions. And there could be other reasons, but generally speaking, if a child went missing on a mother's watch and the mother has nothing to hide, they're out front.
Okay, I want to correct something. It's not a criminal investigation. JLR put out that after he received a denial on the FOIA, it said request denied due to being a criminal investigation. The word criminal investigation was a clerical error. This is not a criminal investigation. It's been redacted. I think they slipped myself, but that's just my opinion.
And they're giving a description of Sebastian, including behaviors, even if it's a style of walking, clothing, everything else, of course, but any type of reaction, so people could recognize him. In this sense, she's calling out to him. An interviewer will say, "How are you doing?" And there's a certain element there where even the most inflamed.
I think that's, oh shit, we actually putting the right thing out. We better fix that mother chicken real quick.
Mother is going to say, I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, this is a nightmare, and then move the conversation, grab it, move it back to, here's where we're looking, here's where I have to find them, I need your
Well,
help.
precisely. Then they need to give us. They need to. Yeah, they need to give him the FOIAs. I can request it too. You see an innocent mother, you're going to see an innocent mother. Yeah.
Sebastian, if you can hear me, son, run away, get out, call
Yes.
911, grab any adult. There's
That thing she said in one of the first interviews, I don't know why he walked out that door. I don't know why he walked out that door. That's always stuck with me.
this stymieing of maternal instinct that is very powerful, where the mother bear says, no, you can't tell me to be quiet. So,
And that's how I feel too. You know, you stand up for your kids for everything, right? While you have them with you, God forbid if they are lost or something, God forbid, happens, no one is going to shut you up. Only for a few reasons. It's a universal. Doesn't matter where you come from. It's a universal.
they did finally speak out. And when I say they, I'm talking about mother and stepfather. Is the information will lie somewhere there. And when stepfather did most of the talking and was obvious in control, and they seemed to have scripted in the interview, people recognized it. People without
Training recognized it. I believe the cough was a thing. You can tell the anxiety is there in that cough with Olivia. I think that's a very important part of the interviews as a whole. FOIA requested for all 911 calls to the correct. Good night, P.S. I wasn't effing freezing. Check email again. What is that? What, Mike? Good night, P.S. I wasn't effing freezing. I don't know what you mean, Mike. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you mean. Seth was just here to listen, but he does speak in. Yeah. Why is everyone talking about the weather right now?
training recognized it, saying, uh-oh, this is scary. Listen to this guy. And so people did ask questions, especially after the first interview, and people didn't believe him. And the social media backlash was on these two. And then there's the dad in the background, with this heartache of being distant, but not having knowledge of what happened. Now, when I analyzed that first interview, I said, they've coordinated their statements, their story. and mom is withholding information about what happened. And I'd like to just to give you an idea about it. With the social media and the instant churning of the bombshell and the breaking news, and people have sent me outrageous things, just foolish and outrageous things. And then there's the psychics that I've talked about before, people that call themselves psychics or readers or energy or whatever the wording may be. They're deceivers. And you'll notice if you read enough of them.
So Tony, I think you might have missed that. We had talked about it. One of the, and I please, if you know who the person is or whoever, do not put their name in this chat. Please, I beg you, don't. Mods will delete it. But there is someone that is a RSO who was searching in the water, I believe. But this was weeks after Sebastian went missing. And they're not from, I don't guess they're from around there either. That's okay.
What they do is they work on the element of vagueness, and they look for those without discernment to bring in.
Yes.
That's all fine and well, and if you'd like to believe that, you can. I don't. And, for reasons I can state pretty plainly. But what it comes down to is listening when someone speaks. I had a case years ago where, and this was in correlation with FBI agents working on it, where 2 young women were murdered in a very rural area. And the case went cold. They found the bodies at the car, and the case went cold over a lot of years. And then they found someone online who was writing a lot about the case.
I don't think he walked or ran out of that house personally either, Bubby. I don't think so whatsoever. I think if that were the case, then there would have been shoe prints. If that were the case, there would have been footprints. If that were the case, there would have been video. If that were the case, there would have been a scent. Right? And there are none of those. None. We're not just missing one, we're missing all of them. Which, even if you're missing one, you shouldn't be missing even one of them. There we go.
And they said, this guy knows things about the case that only we know. And he's writing about it. And we're able to place him in this rural area at the time the 2 young women were murdered. And so they were right. He wrote a great deal of information about it. And I had plenty to analyze. And analyze I did. And there are certain things you look for linguistically that connect someone. And it wasn't there. It wasn't there. Remember, he's going to have, the killer is going to have a very strong opinion, even as he tries to conceal it, which this guy didn't, about the victims. There's a need to justify or a need to conceal. But self-preservation kicks in. Many of you saw that with the McCann's early interviews. This was all about them, not about a supposed missing child. And as it turned out, he didn't do it. And so you say, well, how did he know so many things? Is it some kind of psychic or a power beyond the means of understanding that people have? Is he somehow? No, the guy he was a true crime fan, and he knew, and in my opinion, he accepted human nature for what it is. He knew. He was a good listener and a good writer,
Didn't you,
intelligent
Bobby?
guy, but he didn't do it. And so that ended that way. In interviewing kids with autism, it's
Whether it was 600 degrees outside, if it was 60 degrees outside, if it was 6 degrees outside, there would have been, it doesn't make sense to not wear your shoes. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that there isn't any video camera of him. It doesn't make any sense that there's no shoe print and or footprints. It doesn't make sense that there is no dog scent. It doesn't make sense that a mother who hears a thud from her autistic child's room doesn't check on that. It doesn't make sense that a mother doesn't check on her son for hours. It doesn't make sense that a mother who puts security systems in for a living video footage doesn't have that in her home. It doesn't make sense that a mother was talking to her husband for 3 hours on the phone. These just they don't make sense. Right? A lot of this doesn't make sense. It's like I always say, in true crime, for me, it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. It's the layers of all these inconsistencies. Um so that's what it is for me. Um
it's difficult. I've interviewed a lot of adults with adult autism, which can be very, very difficult because there's perseveration. There's a repeating of something that happened maybe 20 or 30 years ago, and getting convictions is.
Oh yeah, they did have cameras. They had cameras even inside. They did, but they say that they didn't, right? So I'm going on by what they are saying now. Yeah, no shoes, but the only thing you can't find is this keychain LED flashlight. So he'll take a flashlight, this little LED flashlight, you say, but he won't take shoes. He won't take a coat. He didn't take a backpack full of stuff. He didn't like to get dirty, but he'll get his feet muddy. In Tennessee, I don't care if it's 60 degrees outside one day, the next day it's going to be 30 degrees outside. The next day it's going to be 60 again outside. The next day it's going to be 20 degrees outside, right? So it's up and it's down. That's Tennessee weather, right? That's Kentucky weather. That's Virginia weather. That's how most of us live during the winter in this region. So I've caught them saying, oh, I'm not going to tell you if we got cameras inside because that's a security breach. Well, if you know it's a security breach and you educate people, houses, on where they're most likely to get broken into, the blind spots and all of this, well, you damn sure should know you should have cameras. And you said that you did. Anyways, gotcha. So there's that.
Really difficult. I did the case some of you recognize of Nathan Carmen, where he went off on a boat ride with his mom, and the boat sank, and his mom didn't get onto the life raft, and he survived and told the story.
Mike, what was the temperature? I've got one person that sent me 30 degrees. Another person sent me 32 degrees, the low. Another person, let me pull it up, 40 degrees. What's this person? 25th. 28 degrees. 26 degrees. So it was between hell freezing over and hell being hell. It was between one of those temperatures. I've gotten 62 emails for the temperatures. Regardless of the temperature, like I just said, it does not, I mean, it does matter. It does matter. But I mean, this is the internet nowadays. You can find the answer. Everyone's got a different answer. Even the damn weather channels don't even agree anymore. I mean, they expect us to agree in true crime. The damn weather channels don't even agree. It's like, no wonder Trump said fake news. Good God. They don't even agree with, like, nobody even agrees what temperature it was. Sorry, I digress. So, the irony. Yes, the irony. I mean, I mean, I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tabs pulled up of different weather, and they say 6 different answers. And that's what, you know, people do on here. And that's why we just need to respect each other's opinions. And you have your opinion, I'll have mine. It was between 30 and 69 degrees, partly cloudy to a blizzard. Right? Right. Kumbaya. Mother chickens.
And I filmed a news program on that saying he's lying. Very muted emotionally, but he's lying. He's being deceptive. The answer was found in him. Eventually, I worked with the family, and at the time I was doing the news program, they also had someone on saying, "Oh, you can't analyze the words of someone with that disorder, adult autism, or Asperger's." So, yeah, you really can. If they can communicate, you got to listen. And as it turned out, police had known that he had sabotaged the boat, and he was also a suspect in.
But Mike, that's not even true. You said it's not freezing though. Well, this says it's 32 degrees. The last time I checked, 32 degrees was freezing cold. You know what I mean? But there's other ones that's 60 degrees. Regardless. Well, actually, there's one that's 26. I forgot about that one. There's one that's 26 or 28 degrees. What matters is a beautiful little boy went missing 2 months ago and hasn't been found. We all want the same thing. Hashtag find Sebastian. Let's give Amy a round of applause for putting us back in the spirit of things, which is exactly what we all want. And I think most of us agree that it's sus that a child just out of the house You know what I mean? That's sus. You know, it's sus. A mother, not particularly a mother, not, oh, baby kisses, with Summer's story is someone came literally in the middle of nowhere, climbed up a hill, went in the house, grabbed Summer as she just had made it downstairs, and ran past rather, adult who was not far from them in the same yard, and didn't hear nobody going down a damn hill, nothing firing up, and it is the only thing you hear on Ben Hill Road is silence and maybe some birds chirping. And guess what? No cameras there. And even in Summer Wells' case, I can see that there's probably no cameras out in the middle of no freaking where, right? But in the Summer Wells case, someone along that path on the main road there, because it's a long ass road, it's a very long road, someone's got to have cameras. And I know that they have tracked every vehicle that it passed by in every direction. They just don't know where Summer is. Right. Supposed to believe that Don and Candace didn't do anything, but yet they have this history that would make the Satan blush with shame from, the things that the father has admitted to, the people that they have lived with. And not only that, Candace doesn't have a good track record with keeping her children anyways. But someone, some random person ran up that hill, nobody heard a thing, and ran down this hill. Yeah. But the father, who is got the police report that he is literally breaking in women's houses, sniffing their panties and taking them so he can jerk off to them later. That's what he said, not me, in the police report. While the woman is in bed in her home, don't look at him. He wasn't there that day. Come on now. Come on.
The killing of his grandfather, all this had to do with the inheritance of $10 million. His aunts knew. The family had contacted me, and he was finally arrested, and he committed suicide in jail.
It's disgusting.
So it didn't end well. When Sebastian went missing, the key to finding him, the key to everything, lies with the mother. In order to find him, you have to know under what circumstances he went out that door. You have to know that.
Exactly.
She withheld that information, and it was very carefully guarded over by stepfather. So if stepfather wasn't there, then why would he have the same guilt? And this is my theory on it, and then I'll let Seth comment on any of those things. the key to locating either Sebastian's remains or at least the trail of where it goes, that if someone grabbed him and he's still alive, the key to locating him lies with that mother. You have to tell what happened. We have to understand his mindset. We have to understand what he was like at that moment. So here are two factors within that that I think are not understood and really important. She holds the key. That account is
I
the
agree.
only evidence that can be presented to investigators to understand Sebastian's mindset and how bad whatever happened. And here's another one: when it happened. I am convinced it didn't suddenly become a surprise at 6 a.m., not by their language. That interview that was done recently, absolutely perfect, which is a good sign that tells you, nope, it was scripted, it was put together. The key to finding, or at least the proper trail, is understanding what happened that night.
And that is the key. That is the key to finding what happened. And it is so eerily, in my opinion, different but similar in the Summer Wells case. I went to bed, didn't check, woke up, went to his bedroom. He was just gone. Candace, I went out to put my mom's knee brace on that she had just left the freaking hospital. You should have had it on to begin with, right? Traveled around. And boys, watch out for your sister. Oh, walk inside immediately. Oh, where's your sister, boys? Oh, Mom, she went downstairs. Summer, she didn't answer, which Summer always answers me, right? So I went downstairs and she was just gone. Well, no, they're not just gone. There is a story that happened, right? In your home, right? If someone came there and got him, broke in the home to get him, well, then I'm sure there would be some sort of evidence of that, but there's not. And there's not any evidence. Thank you, mother and daughter. There's not any evidence that he walked out because there's not a scent. There is not a camera. There's not a footprint. But the only car that we know that went out was a little after 6 a.m. And that was Katie's car. So the only thing, in my opinion, that makes sense is he went out in Katie's car. Or there was some vehicle within that night to morning that we don't know about that was in there or out of there, or Katie left at another time during the night. But we don't know that part. That's 100% speculation. She was the only one there. Sebastian isn't Houdini. I agree, Robin. I agree. I agree. Who doesn't check on their child when they hear something? Bubba, did you fall out of bed? No, ma'am. Well, if you didn't fall out of bed, I want to know what the sound is, right? Oh, what happened? What's that noise in there at least? If you didn't fall out of bed, what was that thud? Are you okay? She made a suggestion. Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? She made an assumption. No, if he answered that back, you were obviously concerned to ask what happened. At least you say. But you were okay with the answer of, no, ma'am, didn't fall out of bed. Well, then what was the thud? I would have said, all right, even if I didn't go in there, right, which I would 100% have went in there. But even if I didn't, I'd have said, well, what was the sound? What's going on? It's not the assumption of you fell out of bed. And when's the last time you fell out of bed? So, Frank, that is an opinion. Please write in my opinion or allegedly, because that is a very big assumption, right? Right. Calling someone guilty, that's a whole nother level, right? Because and calling them a fraud on top of that is another thing. So please just write in my opinion or allegedly or whatever, because that's, you know, I'm never going to say that Chris and Katie or Seth is guilty. I think something's up, in my opinion, but I'm never going to call them guilty. Right? That's up for a judge and a jury, the guilt part, right? And police and all that. So did they pass a lie detector test? We have no idea. Because of, what they've said before that they passed, and then Chris hadn't really taken a lie detector test. And, I think, Chai, that's the thing. We don't have a lot of information. Let me tell you something. The thud is extraordinarily important in this case. Thud is very important. And not only the thud, but the 3-hour phone call. And it keeps changing, keeps evolving. And that's right, Jen. We absolutely don't know if, Seth has not taken one from TBI. He took one from Nancy Grace's people. But as far as Chris and Katie, we have no idea.
And there were two linguistics that were so powerful. Is number one, and I hope this gets through because I'm having trouble. People still write to me about it. Is the "I love you"? Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with saying Chris or Katie is guilty. I just don't feel comfortable saying that because I'm not a judge or a jury, and it's not up for me to determine that. But I will say that their story does not make sense, and I will say my opinions about what doesn't make sense, why it doesn't make sense in my opinion. But that's as far as personally I'll go with that. Now, if another creator says what they want to say, they have every right to say what they want to say in their opinion. If they say they are, that's up to them. That's just the way I do things. So personally,
She's said she's allegedly quoting him, "I love you, mama," and the puppies. And he may have well said that.
suspicious.
It may have been okay at that point.
Absolutely suspicious.
It is to present her to the public while her son is missing as a good mother.
Yes. So important.
The presentation, the linguistic presentation of a good mother tells you something went wrong. Something went wrong. And even I in subsequent interviews, I heard them repeat that again.
I absolutely believe something went wrong. I think something went wrong specifically after 8 p.m. and before 11 p.m. Between 8 and 11 p.m., in my opinion, something went very wrong in that house. What happened? I haven't a clue. But I do feel like between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m., something happened in that home. And someone probably went too far. Why between 8 and 11 p.m.? Because that is the time when Sebastian would have normally gone to bed, right? Things can change in a second, right? Something can happen in a second and life can change, right? So you can be triggered in a second, you can be pissed off in a second, right? And something happened between after the time, in my opinion, approximately after Sebastian allegedly took out that trash. He was getting ready for bed, getting ready for school the next day, whether he didn't want to go to sleep, whether he was fighting his mom about something or whatever. Something took place for sure, in my opinion. And what that was, I don't know. But I feel like something really, really took place. So there's that. If you can't see, yeah. I believe that was a diversion of events. The first interview, it was never mentioned. Yeah, nothing mentioned in the first interview, and then she said she heard a sound. And then in another interview, I think it was Smiley's interview, said it would just sound like he was just playing around in there. Probably wanted to stack, perhaps. And that's a good point, Carla. I can see Sebastian saying, "Hey, I'm hungry. I want something to eat. No, we just left the restaurant, right? Why are you hungry? Right? The way they scapegoat Sebastian is everything, I believe. They would blame him for. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's a good point. What do you mean? We just had dinner. Why are you hungry again? Right? Kids are growing children are they eat a lot, right? He had just had a colossal popcorn, right? Do you think Chris and Seth are in cahoots with taking Katie down? Nope. 100% not. In my opinion, 100% not. No. Because I think if Chris was not involved in some way and he knew and the pressure was on him like it is, he would have threw Katie under the bus. Sayonara. Because Chris has been married a many times. Not long time, but he's been married many times, right? He has no problem. Long man beard with the girl in bed looking. I don't green eyes, no. But he would throw anyone under the bus. Now, will Katie throw him under the bus? I think Katie would throw him under the bus too. I think she's least likely to do it out of the two, but nonetheless, I think they were both there, or at least Katie was there. Chris came to maybe help with whatever happened. So either way, they are both involved, in my opinion. So there's that. Guys, I'm at 2 hours and 33 minutes. I've been traveling all day. I'm going to end it here. I will be live a lot this week, so stay tuned. Stay tuned for sure. We've got a lot to discuss this week for sure. Make sure you are subscribed to my third channel. It's called Hey Sweet, SWEET TEA, Hey Sweetie. That is my channel where I just go live. We talk about anything and everything. I might go live at 3 a.m. if I can't sleep. I might go live at 6 a.m. You never know. So make sure that's just if you want to see me with talking about everything. You never know what you're going to get over there. And make sure subscribe to, of course, Justin for All. That will be my main channel, hopefully by June 1st again. That is my bigger channel. So should get the monetization back by then, hopefully. Please play the. I will look for that mystic. I will look for that, and then I'll put it in my content so I can play it for sure. All right, guys, thank you so much. Listen, I went to bed last night at, I think it was like midnight, and then I got up at 3, and I was fired up after. I'll be honest with you, I was upset that Chris and Katie was at this bike store, and this is at least the second time they've done this. while people are still looking for Sebastian, this has kept a lot of us up at night, right? I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your support. You could have chosen to be absolutely anywhere this evening, and you chose to be right here with me. And I am thankful for each of you. Justice for Sebastian Rogers. Keep the course, stay the focus. Remember, whatever has happened to Sebastian on the hours of Sunday late evening to the very wee hours of Monday morning in February happened to him. And let's be honest, statistics are not good. They are not in Sebastian's favor at this point. It's been a long time. First 48, even 72 hours is extremely important. We're almost at 2 months. And there's no sign of him. We pray for a miracle. But is it likely? I don't know. But whatever happened to Sebastian has happened to him. And our opinions about what has happened, who may or may not be involved, should not change your character, who you should like or not like, or who you should be friendly with because this creator doesn't like this creator or that creator. Let it go. Don't let that get in the way of you putting your best foot forward, doing anything and everything you can do to help find Sebastian or at least get his name out there. You can share this live. That helps me as well. I just pray he is found and justice happens. That's all we can pray for. And the cards are going to fall where they're going to fall. And you didn't change where the cards fell. Nobody can change what happened to him other than what happened to him, right? Whether who did this or if it was an accident or whatever, it already happened. Your opinions don't change it. Love you all. God bless each and every single one of you. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm going to be live a lot this week, so I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.